I did not like this episode, so let's go to last episode recap. Okay, first off, as the templates from Shaolin Showdown take over, the black guy in Bleach, Thousand-Year Blood War Dari, is being controlled by TYBW's Kaguya, stole arms from Mayuri Kurasuchi. Last week's episode had, a lot of action, a lot of continuity, and, Uryu, his fight scene was very, very devastating, when he was bouncing off the walls. And, the fact that his clan is involved in this arc is amazing. And as the fat guy with the brush doing the musical number from Mulan, after the fight, out comes Clovis. Now on to this episode. This is the gayest fight of all time. Now this is Ichigo versus Yhwach. And what I don't like about Yhwach is that literally he can use all of what Aizen tried to do from the entire history of what being a Soul Reaper is, literally, and put him in his left eye, literally, and keep going. And what that ends up happening is that he ends up being 1,000 times more stronger than Aizen, but what that means is he's basically a devil. And I do not like it one bit. I do not like literally how Yhwach is ugly. That's the whole point of my role in the anime community. Everything's connected to Dragon Ball Z. Now, don't shun me. I do not read the manga when it comes to TYBW, but I know that TYBW literally, Uryu literally, and TYW literally, Kaguya had a good match last episode. And TYW's, characters, like, especially Mayuri, is inferiorly strong. And, TYW, Kisuke Urahara is going on the laptop, which is a big plus, for this episode, And I do know that, Ichigo marries Orihime at the end of the manga, lately, so I do keep up with it, in terms of, overall, but I just couldn't because that's the whole thing, Aizen literally is prettier. You do know why, Aizen is prettier and he's actually a butterfly? It symbolizes really what people actually do to actually go up ranks in the world because people are willing to accept something ugly, but, a lot of people, fall for the fact that it's actually pretty, and some people can't handle actual beauty, and that's some fucked up shit. So here's what happens this episode. Literally, Yhwach literally transports Ichigo like Buzz Lightyear. Ichigo caps him in the beginning, but it's not enough to stop the unspeakable Yhwach literally, and him having Almighty in the middle really is annoying, and it gets to a point where Ichigo literally gets saved by Orihime. I love this episode. And it's very on and off, where it comes to actually, critique, because last week's episode was way more epic. Yes, I also know that they both team up in the manga. I know a lot about literally continuity of, how Aizen lost to Yhwach in the manga, literally, along with Ichigo. So far, Ichigo and Yhwach are pretty much tied, throughout the entire episode in the TYBW arc so far. But at the end of the day, it was a pretty alright episode, it was a good setup, for what's gonna happen, later on down the line. And, what's happened in the previous episode really states, I couldn't believe this was actually, made by Studio Period. But, this is just so, okay review, so this is, MT, just making sure I put emphasis on, this episode of why it was a fluke, but why, it was the main episode, and, you never diss a Kamehameha. Never diss a father-son Kamehameha. But this is this week's episode of TYBW 1000 Blood War Arc.